Hey, welcome everybody, Mr. On Demand. So, do you want your Windows handheld gaming device to boot up like a Steam Deck, totally into the Steam screen, SteamOS, big picture mode, big box type mode? I'm going to show you how to do that. It's really simple, and the biggest complaint I get from Steam Deck users when they try to use a Windows-based PC is the interface is just not intuitive or easy to use. Well, you can make it that way really easily by just switching these couple of settings, and it takes you right into your gaming mode without a problem at all. So let's go ahead and get started doing that. So first of all, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open up Steam and go ahead and get it opened up, and you're going to want to go ahead to the Steam option in the top left corner and go down to settings. Once you open up settings, you're going to go to interface. Once you select interface, you're going to see a bunch of options. One of the options will say run Steam when my computer starts. So that'll set it so Steam starts up with Windows as Windows boots up. The other option is start Steam in big picture mode. Then you're going to set that so that you get the big picture mode. Then you're going to be able to use your controller sticks and buttons to navigate the Steam screen to select your games and play your games. This is really great because you'll have access to all your Steam games available right from there without having to worry about the complicated navigation of Windows. The other side of this is running Steam on a Windows-based handheld, you actually have access to more games because Steam went ahead and had to go ahead and build into a system to show you ratings for games and whether they even work on the SteamOS or not, in order to let their users be happy enough to understand whether or not a game was going to work before they bought the game. This really worked into a major problem for Steam because lots of people would get Steam Decks and they would open the Steam Deck and try to run a game that they bought and paid for, and the game just wouldn't work. And this is a commonplace theme. You only get about 70%, 70 something percent of all the games on Steam working on a Steam Deck with the SteamOS, where in Windows that number is really a lot higher depending on your particular system and the capabilities that it is. It can be up to close to 100%. This is a really great thing because you'll have the ability to play all the games that you want to play regardless of anything if you're running a Windows-based handheld that's got enough power and juice to it to be able to run these games. Now, I personally don't play games this way. I actually open up whatever platform I'm going to want to run the game and run it through there. I personally, on Windows, I run games from EA, from Epic Games, from Steam. All three of these, Epic, Steam, and EA, have abilities to run games from their platforms. And that's not even taking into account the Xbox game system that you can run as well. There are ways to synchronize these games across platforms. There's also systems you can run as a front end if you want to, like Launchbox, which gives you a front end for all your emulated games, but you can also integrate Steam into Launchbox, which actually is a great alternative to running Steam in the big mode on a Windows-based PC. If you just want a front end that's going to be a little more flexible to the type of controllers that come onto a handheld gaming device for Windows. All of these options are available, but many people don't talk about them and really don't tell you everything about them, so you don't know that they're available. You get stuck running Windows in this Windows-based OS, and that's not really meant for a handheld gaming device at all. That brings me to my other point. Microsoft is working on an entirely new system that's going to be integrated with the Xbox platform so that you're going to be able to run devices with Windows gaming handhelds with a interface that is custom tailored to a handheld controller environment. This gives you the ability to run games just like you would run it through the Steam interface or through any one of those other interfaces like Launchbox, like I talked about. But there's another benefit to that. Microsoft is working on debloating Windows to increase the performance and the battery life on these handheld devices for their handheld interface system that they are putting out. This is coming very soon with the new Legion Go with an Xbox button right on it. So if you're interested in something like that, definitely make sure that you subscribe to this channel so you can see all of the new information coming out on that. I'll be talking about it. I'll be talking about the new Windows-based handhelds coming out and the fact that you actually get a platform that runs way more games and has much more flexibility than running a Steam Deck or a Nintendo Switch. These are what I feel are the best options for most people in the gaming environment. But at the end of the day, it also always comes down to the fact of what games do you play? You have to make that decision. Are you a Nintendo fan? Do you play Nintendo games? You're probably going to want to get a Nintendo Switch. And then again, you know, Sony games, etc. But the platform that gives you the sheerest highest number of games and the most performance and flexibility is definitely the Windows platform. That's not saying Windows is perfect. It's got tons of issues, believe me. And none of these platforms are perfect. Nintendo's got a massive issues going on with lawsuits and everything right now. So at the end of the day, you got to make the decision for yourself. What games do you play? What platform do you want to play them on? And what works out best for you. I'm just here to try to help you with the best information I can to make your life easier playing these games on whatever system that you're playing the games on, and try to steer you toward what I think is the best option in the market. And, you know, that's the Windows handheld and Windows PC market, in my opinion, and Xbox is moving that direction. The new Xbox devices coming out on the market seem more like a Windows gaming PC than they do an actual gaming console. So, and with the new interface that they're producing that I talked about, I think we're going to have some really, really good times going forward in the future, gaming-wise, in that direction. That being said, are they going to make mistakes? Of course, all these companies do, and none of them are perfect. For any fanboy to come out and try to say, "Oh, my option is the best," I don't think any option is the best option, or the perfect, I should say perfect option, not best option. There is no perfect option. There is just the option that runs whatever game that you like. We all like different games, we like different movies, and we like different music. And we all have to respect each other's opinions on what we personally like. If you like the games that are on a different type of platform, that's absolutely fine. It still doesn't change the fact that the company and the platform is a piece of garbage, but the games are what you want to play, and that ultimately, at the end of the day, decides what platform you're going to run, because if that game's not available on PC, well, then you don't have PC as an option because it literally won't play the game you want to play. The same is in reverse, though. If you're running a Nintendo Switch 2 or you're running a Sony PlayStation, there's a ton of PC games that don't play on those devices. So if I want to play some of those games, and those are the games I'm playing, then I can't use a Sony PlayStation. I can't use a Nintendo Switch because they literally don't run the games I want to play. So that comes down to each individual to decide, you know, what games they like. And hey, I'm not going to tell you what games to like because everybody's different. I'm also not going to tell people what movies or TV shows or music to like because that's also your own independent decision to make. But this has been Mr. On Demand, and if this video was helpful to you, leave a thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't like it and you disagree with my opinions, that's absolutely fine. You can let me know in the comments down below why you think another option is way better, or if you know of another front end that is better to use in Windows, go ahead and tell us about that as well, because that's always good information to have. And it's good to know that we do have options to use other front ends in Windows to make the Windows platform run the way we would like it to run, and we don't just have to use the Windows interface to use our gaming handheld as for our games. And well, people need to know this information. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great day. Bye-bye for now.